Guys, I'm going to share with you one company that I have shared within my community. I've shared a very detailed analysis on why I love this company at these levels. And I'm talking about Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's company. Well, Warren Buffett is no longer there. He is still very close to the management, of course. He's still influencing the company. But Berkshire Hathaway at this price level is, for me, an absolute buy. A buying opportunity that investors should not skip, if you are a long-term investor, of course. So let me just go ahead and share with you a few charts so that you see what I'm talking about. Okay, so first, let's look at this chart comparing Berkshire Hathaway with the S&P 500 since May last year. Okay, since May last year, you can see here that Berkshire lost 9% in value while the S&P 500 went up 35%. This is like almost a 45% gap. And according to Barron's, that you can see here, Warren Buffett found plenty of stock buys over the years. Right now, his company looks like one. This is an opportunity to buy. And what I said in this article, let me add here, Barron's Berkshire Hathaway stock has gone from expensive to cheap over the past year. At the current price, not a lot has to go right for this $1 trillion conglomerate to generate market-beating returns, even without Warren Buffett at the helm. Berkshire is in better shape than its price suggests. For long-term investors, betting on Berkshire should pay off even after the legendary investor passes from the scene. And I totally agree. Let me show you here some of my indicators. And first, let me show you this indicator. This is the correlation coefficient between Berkshire Hathaway and the S&P 500. And basically, this is just to show you that, well, the correlation coefficient is at 94%, 0.94. This means that over long periods of time, Berkshire Hathaway is very, very correlated with the S&P 500. But recently, it has not been correlated. And what happens usually in this kind of asset is that they regress to the mean. They regress to what used to be their expected behavior. It might not happen. This is not guaranteed, of course. But I really believe that Berkshire and the S&P 500 will close this gap here because there is a huge correlation coefficient between them. Okay, if I switch here to a prolonged period of time on the charts, what you'll see is that they are very, very correlated. Can you see here? Okay, of course you can see. So the movements are very, very correlated. And let me just put here, pin it to a new scale. Okay, you see how these charts are correlated, right? But while the S&P 500 since the year of 2000 returned 400%, Berkshire returned 1,100%. And now I think it's time to return again, because over the last 1 year, as you can see here again, is very uncorrelated, okay? Anyway, this is one of the charts that I wanted to share with you. The other piece of information that I want to share with you is the companies that Berkshire Hathaway is currently holding. So as you can see here, when you buy Berkshire, you are buying an existing business. You are buying part of their insurance business, but Berkshire has other businesses underneath, okay? So they are shareholders of big companies. You have Apple, American Express, Coca-Cola, Bank of America, Chevron, Occidental Petroleum, and many other companies. And they are also sitting on a pile of cash. We are talking about tens of billions of dollars that now Berkshire can use to buy other stocks. And usually they do amazing deals. Once they do an amazing deal, the stock price will jump, and that's too late already to buy. So I'm buying the stock now. I'm actually not buying the stock, okay? But stick around because I'm going to show you exactly what I'm buying that is even better than the Berkshire stock, okay? I'm going to show you I want to show you another chart here. This is a chart comparing NASDAQ and Berkshire Hathaway around the year of 2000, 1998 to 2000. 1998 to 2000, Berkshire also lost 45% of its value, while Nasdaq was going up like crazy because of the dot-com bubble. And then Nasdaq crashed really, really hard, and Berkshire Hathaway was super stable and going up. So I really see Berkshire as a very stable bet that you can use to bet in the long term in the stock market, okay? And I was showing you these companies that Berkshire holds, but did you know that they are in the data center, AI, electricity, energy sector too? So what you can see here is that there is in this conglomerate, they have a company called the Berkshire Hathaway Energy, BHE, which is held by Berkshire Hathaway. They hold many, many different businesses, right? And this is a electricity generation company, and they are growing a lot their business by selling energy to data centers. Who would have thought that Berkshire Hathaway can be like a second level thinking bet on AI? Anyway, this is kind of a small portion of their business, but just for you to see how diversified this business is. And I have looked at other metrics of the business. The P ratio is at 15, price to books at 1.4. It's really looking like very good at these prices, and that's why I cannot skip investing in this company. Now, how am I investing in this company? How am I positioning my investment? And to tell you about this, I need to share this chart here. This is my Kelly Criterion indicator that tells me what's the optimal leverage to use by investing in this stock. And the optimal leverage is around 3x, okay? Typically, you should use a little bit more conservative, okay? Because Kelly optimal leverage will tell you what's the optimal leverage that you should use to maximize your risk-adjusted returns, okay, according to the returns of the company and the volatility. Now, the good thing here is that Berkshire is not a very volatile stock. It's not like Tesla, it's not like Bitcoin. It has a low volatility, and this allows you to use some leverage. And as you can see, up to 3x leverage will be fairly safe. Now, I'm not using 3x leverage, I'm using a little bit less. I'm using 2x leverage, and I'm using 2x leverage by investing in this ETF over here called BRKU. So BRKU is how I'm betting in this stock. So BRKU is the 2x leverage ETF for Berkshire Hathaway, and I have already included it in my portfolio very recently. So basically, this is what I have to say about Berkshire Hathaway. I do much deeper analysis on my community, on my Henrik Wealth Academy. Of course, you should check the link that I leave in the description of the video. I talk about all my stock picks, which have performed very, very well over the last few years. I always give to my community 2x the returns of the S&P 500 very consistently by having these kind of stock picks. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe so that you don't follow this kind of content that can be extremely useful for investors like you to make better informed decisions. All right, I'll see you in the next one.